The first time Luca Conti heard the scream, he thought it was just another argument through the thin apartment walls. But then a woman's voice cut through the noise, raw and terrified. "Help me." 10 seconds later, the Mafia boss next door kicked her door off its hinges and walked straight into the fight that would change his life forever. Haley didn't remember falling asleep. One moment she was sitting on the edge of the guest bed, still in the same clothes, fingers curled around the blanket like it was the only solid thing in her world. The next, she woke up in the dark, heart racing like someone had shouted her name. She jerked upright, breathing fast. For a second, she didn't know where she was. No broken glass, no shouting, no footsteps coming closer. Just a soft lamp on the nightstand, a clean room, and the quiet hum of the city outside the window. She pressed a hand to her throat. It hurt when she swallowed. Her mind flashed back to Ethan's hands, his fingers digging into her skin, his eyes full of hate. The way the world started to blur, the way her own voice sounded when she screamed, "Help me." She squeezed her eyes shut. Another memory pushed forward. A different pair of hands, strong but steady, pulling Ethan away. A different voice, low and controlled. "You don't put your hands on her." "Luca." She exhaled slowly. The digital clock on the nightstand read 3:17 a.m. Haley swung her legs off the bed. Her socks brushed against the soft rug. She stood carefully, testing her balance. Her body felt heavy, but the panic had faded just enough for her to move. She opened the bedroom door a crack and peeked into the hallway. The penthouse was dim, lit only by a small light in the living room. The city glowed through the large windows like a distant, quiet world that didn't know what had happened to her a few hours earlier. She walked out slowly, hugging her arms around herself. Luca was there. He sat on the couch, leaned forward, elbows on his knees, phone in one hand, a glass of water on the table in front of him. His jacket was off, his white shirt sleeves rolled up, tattoos wrapping around his forearms. He wasn't watching TV or scrolling through anything. He was just awake, waiting. He looked up the second he heard her steps. "You should be resting," he said. "I woke up," Haley answered, voice still rough. "Sorry, I didn't mean to bother you." "You're not bothering me." His tone was simple, flat, certain. She walked closer, but stayed standing near the other side of the coffee table. "Do you ever sleep?" she asked, trying to make a weak joke, her voice soft. "When I can," he replied. "Tonight isn't one of those nights." She nodded. She understood. Her own thoughts wouldn't let her brain shut off. "Do you need something?" he asked. "Water? Food?" She shook her head, then changed it to a small nod. "Water, maybe." He handed her the glass on the table and went to the kitchen to get another for himself. She watched him move. Calm, steady, controlled. Not like someone who had just kicked down a door and beaten a man into the floor. When he came back, she was sitting on the couch, holding the glass with both hands, fingers wrapped around it like it was a lifeline. "Does it still hurt?" he asked, glancing at her throat. "A little," she admitted. "It's better than before." "If you want, I can have a doctor come in the morning," he said. "Someone I trust. No report, no questions, just an exam." Her chest tightened. "I don't want the police involved yet." "They won't be," Luca replied. "Not unless you decide that." "It's your call." No one had said that to her in a long time. "It's your call." With Ethan, there was never a choice. There were only orders, rules, and consequences. "Thank you," she said quietly. He sat on the armchair across from her, resting his forearms on his knees again. He watched her, but not like he was studying a problem. It was more like he was making sure she didn't fall apart. "Haley," he said, "how long has this been going on?" Her fingers tightened around the glass. "I don't know," she answered. "I guess it started small. Comments, jealousy, checking my phone, asking where I was every minute." She swallowed. Then it was shouting, doors slamming, telling me I was useless when something upset him. And tonight, she didn't finish. She didn't need to. Luca didn't push. Did anyone else know? he asked. She shook her head. No. Not a friend? Family? Her lips trembled for a second. My best friend lives in another state. We talk sometimes, but I kept telling her everything was fine. She let out a bitter breath. I was embarrassed. I kept thinking it was my fault, that I had to be more careful, say the right things, avoid starting fights. Luca's expression tightened. It's not your fault, he said. It never was. Haley gave a little shrug, more out of habit than belief. That's not what I heard every day. Then you've been listening to the wrong person, he replied. The room went quiet again. Haley sipped the water, feeling the cool liquid ease the burn in her throat. You live here alone? She asked after a moment. For now, Luca said. She picked up on the small gap in his voice. For now? He looked out toward the city for a second. Work keeps me busy. People don't stay long around that. What do you do? The question slipped out before she could stop it. He looked back at her. It wasn't a simple stare. It was measured, like he was deciding how much to say. I run businesses, he said finally. What kind of businesses? The kind that require loyalty, he answered, and a lot of security. She frowned a little. So, security company? A corner of his mouth lifted for half a second, barely a smile. Something like that. Haley studied him in the low light. His features were sharp, his eyes dark and steady, his hands calm. There was nothing soft about him, but nothing careless either. He seemed like a man who made decisions quickly and never doubted them. You weren't scared, she said suddenly. He tilted his head slightly. Of what? Of him, she replied. Of going in there. He could have had a weapon. He could have attacked you. You just kicked the door down like you do that every day. I don't do it every day, Luca said. Only when I hear a woman scream like that. Her chest tightened again. The way he said woman made her feel like a person, not a possession. What if he calls the police? She asked. What if he tells them you broke in and attacked him? He can try, Luca said. But they'll see the bruises on your neck, and the broken glass on his floor, and the fact that he was the one who laid hands on you first. He can lie, she insisted. Luca's eyes hardened. He can lie. But I'm very good at dealing with liars. There was something in his tone that made her shiver, not from fear, but from the certainty in it. He sounded like a man used to being obeyed. Are you always this calm? She asked. On the outside, he said. Inside is different. Haley hesitated. What did you feel when you heard me scream? He didn't answer right away. Angry, he said finally. Very angry. With him? She asked. With him, Luca confirmed, and with myself for not knocking sooner. Her eyes softened. You still came. That's all that matters. They fell into silence again, but it wasn't as heavy as before. It felt like a pause between two people who had said too much already and were afraid to say more. Haley rubbed her arms slowly. I don't know what to do tomorrow, she admitted. I can't go back there, but all my things are in that apartment. My clothes, my laptop, my work, everything. We'll get your things, Luca said. How? She asked. He'll be there. He'll start again. You won't go alone, Luca replied. You won't be anywhere near him without someone at your side. Someone? She repeated. He gave a small nod. Me, or someone I send. She stared at him. You would do that? I don't say things I don't intend to do, he said. Her throat tightened in a different way now.